It's everyone's favourite time of the football season. FA Cup first round weekend is upon us. The crowd are ready, I'm ready. Who's up for the cup? Coming up on today's show, we chat to manager Matt Taylor, midfielder Nikki Law, and we also look back at a memorable clash here at the Park in the FA Cup with Liverpool. But first, here are the highlights of Tuesday night's draw all the way up in Morecambe.
Journey up to Morecambe for them, nearly 300 miles. Free kick comes in and it's just about pushed away. Morecambe first going forward so far, but we might get something from them here. Jordan slews ball into the area, it breaks at the back post, a chance to strike. And how big did Andreasen make himself there? The pressure, but he pulls the ball back, whip towards the far post, the header comes in. And it's another smart stop by Andreasen. By Morecambe, but they haven't got anything to show for it so far. Ball launched forwards and it's allowed to bounce, and that's a big mistake. Will they pay the price? They will. Joel Randall puts Exeter ahead. His 5th goal of the season, and it was entirely avoidable for Morecambe. Cannot allow the ball to bounce. Not once but twice. Static defending. Sam Lavelle, not sure what he was doing there. They really will. Here's Schlup, he threads it forwards. Indecision here, and Morecambe have got themselves back level, and it's a gift of a goal the other way this time. 4 pieces of defending have led to the 2 goals we've seen here so far tonight. Now Stephen Hendrick might get it out of his feet here. He's going to have a go, and he puts Morecambe into the lead. His first goal for the club. They won't panic to Sparks. Nice piece of play from him into the area. Can he pick out a cross? He fires it straight into Jake Turner in field. Taylor pushes it forwards and it's a fine pass as well. Might be a chance here into the side netting by Matt J. For Morecambe to come forwards here. Might be a chance to strike on the edge of the area. Andreasen got it away. Joel Randall. Now Archie Collins. Exeter having to be patient here. Nikki Law. Still Law. He pulls it back to the edge of the area. It breaks for Taylor. And Exeter have their equaliser. And you have to say that it has been coming. Been knocking on the door in this second half. Jake Taylor has thumped away through. Plenty of power in the strike. The little time that remains, Collins threads it forwards. Real chance for them here. It's pulled back and it just evades a couple of Exeter players, and with that, the final chance of the game. Thoroughly entertaining evening here.
This man knows all about scoring goals in the FA Cup, and as another FA Cup round is upon us, we spoke to the manager Matt Taylor, who expects a tough game against an AFC Fylde side packed with Football League talent.
A good team we're up against, an unbeaten team. Not many teams in the country are unbeaten at this stage of the season. Shows how well they've recruited in the off-season, and they've got a lot of players with league experience or on loan from the Football League. So look, we say it every week, we know how difficult it'd be. We've got to look after some personnel within our squad, but attack the game this weekend. We remain unbeaten for a period of time now. Our home form recently has been strong. And we're expecting a good encounter this weekend. The Cup's only a good competition if you progress in it. It's not a good competition if you get knocked out and get knocked out in games where you should look to progress. So we know what the dangers are this weekend, and we'll be certainly looking to put in a display which says we want to progress.
Games against non-league sides can always be quite unpredictable, but Fylde are a team with plenty of Football League experience in there. How much have you been able to see of them in the build-up to this game in terms of...
Same as every opposition, we watched them 3 or 4 times. We've had scouts watch them. Look, a lot of players who are familiar with lower league football and have had success in lower league football. So, like I say, probably playing slightly below what level they should be playing in terms of the players in the club. They were unfortunate last season when the season got suspended, and they obviously got relegated off the back of that. But their start this season shows what a good team they are. And they're a full-time team as well. So in terms of, you look at fitness and sharpness, they still train on a daily basis, similar to ourselves. I'm expecting a good game. They've got nothing to lose. The pressure is on us, but we've got to relish that pressure. Whatever team I pick this weekend, I've got to see it as an opportunity to impress. And you're impressed by winning the game and performing well.
One man who started our last game here at St James's Park was midfielder Nikki Law. We caught up with him ahead of what looks to be a tough game against Fylde.
It's unfortunately for me a competition I've never managed to obviously have a great run in. I think the second round's maybe the furthest I've been in it. Had some decent runs in the Scottish Cup when I had my spell up in Scotland, of course, a couple of semi-finals and a final up there. But yeah, the FA Cup's always one. I've never really managed to get a good run in. So yeah, it would be great to obviously do that this year. Tough game, obviously Saturday. So yeah, I think for us, a lot of maybe some boys that haven't had as many minutes as they would have liked. So a great opportunity to impress and yeah, hopefully get a decent run going this year and obviously see where that may take us.
And obviously we face a team in AFC Fylde that are in the National League North, two leagues below us. I mean, with these non-league teams, you never really know what you're going to get until the game starts, do you?
No, obviously difficult maybe to get the footage maybe really more than anything at the moment. I think what you always guarantee what you're going to get from these sides, obviously 100% effort. That's from minute 1 to 95, 96 minutes. You guaranteed 100% effort, whether it's 0-0, they're winning or you're winning. Even if you're winning comfortably, they just don't give up. And obviously, as you said, I know Fylde dropped down the division last year with the relegation, but they've got an impressive squad for obviously the level that they are at. A lot of league experience, a manager with a lot of league experience, and certainly a squad of players that is obviously on paper certainly a lot better than obviously the level that they are playing at. They've had a good start to the season, as I say. You would expect that with the level of player they have. But yeah, I think as most games, it'll be about us. We respect every opponent we play, whatever level that they play at. So Fylde will have complete respect from us, but we obviously feel against anybody, if we play as well as we can, or certainly as well as we have been lately, we'll certainly give them a good game and hopefully get the right result.
As we enter a second lockdown here in England, of course, times are tough. We know we need to be looking after ourselves, our friends, our family and our fellow Grecians. Of course, please check up on each other, make sure you're okay, make sure everyone you know is okay. We're going to post some numbers on our social media for the Samaritans, for some mental health charities. Please do not live in silence, please talk up, make that call if you need to, because you never know how much someone you know or yourself might need it.
We are a team that like to play football. I think there are a lot of sort of speculation about women's football and what to expect and stuff, but I think you're not going to know until you come and watch. And I think we are a team that like to keep the ball and play with possession. We like to play out from the back, play football, yeah, nice build-up play.
Now it's time to catch up with Will Barrett, our club historian. He takes a look back into the history books at City's record in the FA Cup.
Exeter City's Emirates FA Cup first round tie with AFC Fylde is the first time that the two sides have met in any competition and will be our 264th game in the world's oldest club contest. Of course, City have never gone as far as winning the famous £14 trophy, but there have been some truly magical campaigns over the years, particularly when the club went all the way to the quarterfinals in 1931 and 1981, beating teams like Derby County, Leeds United, Leicester City and Newcastle along the way. The club's record win in all competitions also came in the FA Cup back in 1908 when Arthur Chadwick's side beat Weymouth by a mammoth 14-0, thanks in large to a double hat-trick from James Daisy Bell. The magic of the FA Cup has also cast its spell on the Grecians in recent years, not least, of course, in 2005 when Dean Moxey's goal of the round set the wheels in motion for the now two famous games against Manchester United. Then in 2016, goals from Tom Nichols and Lee Holmes at a packed St James Park helped to provide Jurgen Klopp with a testing introduction to what the FA Cup is all about. Last season's efforts ended in the second round with a 1-0 defeat away in the replay at Hartlepool United, despite goals from Ryan Bowman and Nigel Attengana, putting the side 2-0 up in the original tie at the Park. Naturally, the lads will be wanting to go further this time around, and who knows, maybe we could reach those quarterfinals again, albeit 10 years ahead of our traditional schedule.
A new feature on Park Life now as we get a view from the opposition. Hear his AFC Fylde match commentator Brian Potter with a look inside Fylde.
Be afraid, Scott. Be very afraid.
So Brian, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself? I mean, you commentate on the AFC Fylde games, don't you? So, tell us a bit about yourself and what we should expect on Saturday.
I've had loads and loads of lucky accidents with AFC Fylde. I first started back in the 2007-8 season when the stadium announcer couldn't make a game, and I volunteered to stand in for him. When I tried to give him the microphone back at the next game, he said, "You can keep it, son," and I've had it ever since. So season number 13, that's included 3 trips to Wembley in that time, and 2 of them, the last 2, actually announcing the team on the pitch. So it's crazy. We've moved to a new ground in that time, and recently, last year, I started commentating on away games. That's going really well, really enjoying it. And of course, now during COVID, it's a bit of a lifeline for our fans that they actually get to at least hear some action. So when we were drawn against Exeter in the FA Cup, the thought of not going just never entered our heads at all. It was, yes, of course, we'll be providing full match commentary for our fans. So I think some will be taking the Exeter FC stream tomorrow with my commentary, and now most recently we've started just streaming ourselves. So I've got behind the mic on TV streaming as well. So at least people don't have to look at me when they're doing that. So that's all good. What can you expect tomorrow? You can expect a hard-working side. There's a lot of experienced former league players in the club now. We've brought in through the summer players who are ready to do the job, and the job is to get into the Football League in 2022. That aim and target still stands. Bit of a knock at the end of the season when I think we could probably have got out of it, but let's not dwell on that. We can't. That's gone. It's history. The players that Jim Bentley has brought in are ready to do the job back to back, and I fully expect them to. They'll certainly give it a real go. They'll give it a real go against Exeter tomorrow. I know they're looking forward to it. I expect Exeter to put out their strongest squad possible, because you'll have designs on getting to the 3rd round and hopefully getting that plum tie as well, because it matters at League 1 and 2 just as much as it matters at non-league level. Player-wise, Chris Neal in goal, former Salford shot stopper, excellent, really commands his box. And then ahead of him, well, it would have been Nathan Pond, who actually holds the world record for the most number of promotions with one football club, that being Fleetwood. He joined us from Salford in the summer. Currently carrying a bit of a groin strain, so I don't know if he'll feature tomorrow, but it'll be a back 4 probably. Luke Conlon, who came in through the summer. Alex Whitmore, former Gateshead centre half, excellent lad. He'll probably skip to the side. Moving forward, we've got ex-league players in David Perkins and Danny Philliskirk, who formed a real good partnership in midfield. So there's plenty of experience around the squad to let Exeter know they're in a game tomorrow. If Exeter apply themselves as you have all season, you're 10 unbeaten, 4th in the league, you would expect to go into the game as favourites. But Fylde are also 10 unbeaten, currently top of National League North, and have designs on creating an upset for you.
Do you feel like going into the game there's less of expectation on Fylde, so maybe that gives them more drive to go and try and get that upset, because people don't expect them to come in and win?
You would, looking at the relative size of squads, the league positions, you would say Exeter would be favourites, but our team's full of winners, and the whole squad is full of winners. Just before we came on air here, I was talking about last season, I wasn't sure who the best 11 was, because I couldn't pick 11 who were going to work hard. Now we've got the opposite situation of not sure what the best 11 is, because they're all working incredibly hard, and when one comes in, he is determined to make it extremely difficult for somebody to get that shirt back. And that's what you want from a relatively small squad. You need players fighting for that competition. Look, you've got to go into the game as favourites. We've got to be the underdogs. Do I expect us to win? No. Do I want us to win? Absolutely. Yeah. And it should be a really, really good day out. The real disappointment is there's going to be no fans there to see it and enjoy it.
How does that affect your commentary as well? I mean, how do you find the atmosphere and everything around the games?
Once I start talking on commentary, that's it. I just focus on what's in front of me, and that's really all I have done in the past, is just focus on what's in front of me. So however many fans are there doesn't really affect my commentary. I'm focusing on the people listening back home. We've got a chat facility on our broadcast, so AFC Fylde fans are able to chip in with their comments about the game, ask questions, comment on the dubious raffle prizes that I throw out there that for a raffle that doesn't even exist. And they'll no doubt question me on the random facts I put out about Exeter tomorrow, which seems to be a bit of a feature of my commentary. So we have a lot of fun with it. I don't particularly do too much about the crowds when they're there, because I'm focusing on the people who aren't there. So no crowd isn't really going to affect me, but I don't have miss seeing people at football matches. That's what football's really all about. It's about meeting up with your mates. Tomorrow we'd have taken a couple of hundred down to Exeter simply because it's a very long way to go. And that would have been the main reason for taking so many people down. So they're going to miss being there just as much as Exeter fans miss being there. I'm sure we'd have got a very warm welcome from the Exeter fans.
Absolutely.
Who would have questioned our sanity for travelling all that way to watch a National North League team. But that's football. That's what it's all about.
This will be your fourth game of the campaign as well so far in the FA Cup. I mean, how have those first three been? Were they plain sailing or challenging?
They probably looked more plain sailing than they were. It was a 4-2 win away at Hyde in the first game. It was fairly comfortable, but that was the lads doing a workmanlike professional job, a game they were expected to win, that they did a professional job on. And that's taking absolutely nothing away from Hyde United, who worked very, very hard that day, and had it in their minds to cause an upset. And if we hadn't been on it, then they would have caused an upset. Moved on to Farsley Celtic in the next game. That was a tricky tie because the pitch was very, very wet. It was a sticky pitch. It was a tough, horrible night, but again stuck to the task and came away what looked fairly comfortable 3-1 winners. Once it went to 3, it was a reasonably comfortable win. Much more challenging against Altrincham at home in the fourth qualifying round. A 2-1 win. Both sides absolutely going for it. It was a cracking cup tie. We played them pre-season in a friendly and drew 2-2 with them. So we knew what to expect, and they knew what to expect, and both sides put on a cracking cup tie. So I would very much hope that tomorrow we get a cracking cup tie.
I guess I should ask you as well. I mean, for our fans, who's the danger man on your side? I mean, who's the one that they should really look out for in the coverage?
None of them. They're all rubbish. Just in case your gaffer's listening to this and watching this and picking up some tips, I'm giving absolutely nothing away. I think, to be honest, I think you'll come away from tomorrow's game. I think those watching on the stream tomorrow will come away with, actually, they're a decent side. They're a side that work hard. They're organised. and they're playing for the shirt, and they should do well in the National League North. If you want one name, Nick Horton's been doing really well this season. Joined us from Salford, former Fleetwood player. He was released from Salford because they reckoned he didn't run far enough in a game. He doesn't need to run that far. He's got 5 this season. All of them been really, really good goals. They're all 5 of them are already contenders for goal of the season. So yeah, he's one to watch.
Brilliant. I mean,
just watch him fall over in the first 5 minutes tomorrow now and bust his knee and be out for the season. We just build him up like that.
Tend to ask all our guests on here, for a score prediction. So I'm going to have to ask you. I mean, which way do you see it going?
I'm going to be absolutely consistent. I get asked every single week, what's my score prediction? And I never, ever, ever give a score prediction. But I'll turn it on its head and ask you, Scott, what's your prediction?
I think it'll be a tighter game, I think, tomorrow. I'm pretty sure the ties are now only one leg, aren't they? So they aren't replays. So they'll go to does it go, do you know if it direct to penalties, is it? Or is it extra time? I'm not...
Straight to penalties at 90 minutes.
Yeah. So I reckon we could see penalties tomorrow. So I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw, I reckon.
And it's a lottery, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It makes it fun as well, doesn't it?
Yes. I'll take 1-1 and take you to penalties. I'll take
what
that.
Happens then.
I'll take that. Look, I'm coming down for a great day out tomorrow. Look forward to meeting you in person. I take it you will be there,
Yep, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there when you get there to give you a warm welcome.
Lovely. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Scott. It's going to be a cracking day out. Oh, when we went to the other team in Devon, we came away with a signed shirt and 2 pies each for the coach going home.
I'll try and beat that then. No pressure.
We're looking forward to coming down to Devon again. It'll be a cracking day out, and may the best side win.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for your time, and see you tomorrow.
You certainly will. Thanks, Scott. Bye for now.
As this is our first clash with AFC Fylde, we don't have any classic encounters to look back on, so we take a trip back to 2015 when thousands of you would have walked up these steps when Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool came to town.
It's an opening goal. Tom Nichols sliding in. Enrique couldn't match the run on the right. And Nichols turned it in. And Exeter City have broken through early in the 9th minute. Here's Smith. Teixeira. Going down, but it didn't matter because Sinclair, or has the referee given the penalty in the first place? Sinclair thinks he scored, and Jurgen Klopp waits for the verdict here. But the referee looked to me as though he was going to point to the spot, and Benteke hit the deck. Well, a goal apiece inside 13 minutes here. Here's Randall, it's a driving run, and it's a very good shot too, a cross shot really. Now Ribeiro. Getting his cross in. Oh, and it was a ball that really attracted Noble. He feels his shot was deflected over, but it's a goal kick that's been given. Good work in the middle. And he's back with Holmes again. Oh, and it was a chance coming in from beyond the far post by Ribeiro. just the one added minute. The aforementioned Mr. Robinson. Oh, it's got in! Incredible! Well, we talked about Lee Holmes and his left foot, and Adam Bogdan is embarrassed again in Liverpool's goal. And right on half-time, Exeter take the lead for a second time. There he goes again, with Brannigan's help this time. Who stood up the cross well, and Benteke with a trademark position, a trademark header, and Alainic did extremely well to keep it out. Noble. Well, it's Ribeiro coming in to attack it again. And the delivery from the left. It's a useful ploy. Smith exploring avenues infield this time. 1-2 with Benteke. Here's Ojo. And it's put in by Smith. Liverpool are level, and his sense of adventure has paid off with a second equaliser for Jurgen Klopp's team.
This is the substitute, Alex Fisher!
And they've pickpocketed them here. It's Joel Randall, and it
comes out here for a fine effort and a fine goal from Harry Kite.
Pressure off the ball from the visitors. Now there's another chance here to find the equaliser, and this time it is tucked in by Matt J.
October was a superb month for the Grecians, going 8 games unbeaten and scoring 15 goals. Let's take a look at every single one.
Cambridge, but Williams, good surging run into the area. Now was he upended there by Harrison Dunk? Referee points to the spot. Responsibility, it's Jay, it's swept home into the bottom corner, and Exeter have the lead, in the lead. Have had plenty of the play, but got themselves in trouble here, and they've pickpocketed them here. It's Joel Randall, and it's 2-0 to Exeter City. And Cambridge United contributing very much to their own downfall.
Deep ball to the back of the penalty area towards Sweeney. Well, it comes out here for a fine effort and a fine goal from Harry Kite. Only 4 minutes in, fabulous strike. Fisher, and that's surely a penalty. Sparks flattened. Referee, just 6 minutes gone. It is 2. The Academy boys showing what they can do tonight. Delivery into the front post. That Tangana meets it. Powerful header into the corner. That didn't last long, did it? Such a box pound. In comes the corner. It's not dealt with by the defence. And Tangana in there. And so too is Hartridge. 4-1 the score. It's another Academy player.
Goalkeeper Mark Oxley. Oxley has cleared it straight to an Exeter player. And here's Bowman. And this is Randall. 1-1. 5 minutes before half-time. Collins retrieves the ball for Exeter. Williams almost won the header. Taylor trying to force his way through. And this is the substitute, Alex Fisher! Oh my word! 5 minutes into stoppage time.
Just continuing his run down this right-hand side. He can be found, and he can. Sparks. Bowman, he couldn't connect, but Jake Taylor can. And with just 13 minutes to go, Exeter City level things off at 1-1. Taylor Frost, and then the clearance from Glenn Morris. It hits Ryan Bowman and goes in, and Exeter leads.
Pushed forwards, and Exeter looking menacing here. Here's Jake, sends in the cross. Randall has time, and he finds the back of the net. Exeter make the breakthrough, and it's Joe Randall with his third goal of the season. Scunthorpe, as we've mentioned already, hasn't scored away from home this season. Cross is fizzed in, and it's an awful error. An awful piece of goalkeeping, and there is Matt Jay. 2 goals in 3 minutes. The ice so often. Cleverly worked, and Taylor's making his burst, and he finds the far corner. And that will wrap it up for Exeter. A minute left to play, and they have their third goal of the afternoon.
Collins has to go back before Exeter can come forward. Plenty of bodies in the box to aim at. That's a lovely finish. 2 minutes after the restart, Jake Taylor slots it home. Someone into the mixer now. Whipped into the box and tucked away. Tom Parks with the strike of 48 minutes. And almost straight after the restart, the home side have the advantage. Scoring again.
Next, we speak to City fan Lewis Andrews, a regular here on the Big Bank in normal times. We spoke to him about the game and how much he's missing being here.
Thanks for joining us, Lewis. I mean, we're used to seeing your face on the Big Bank every other weekend. I mean, how much are you missing it?
Oh, it's terrible, isn't it, really? I mean, we're missing it desperately, not just the players, but everyone, people that we got to know, you know, Mo selling the tickets and the guys on the gate and all my mates and the East Devon Grecians. Yeah, we really miss it. And we miss the away games as well, because Sue and I used to make weekends of it. And we go to places, you know, York and in the Midlands. And we'd always overnight. And it's strange because at the start of the season, we get the fixtures and we'd write them all on the calendar. Then from there, we would work out our weekends away, and we talk to the kids and fancy going here and there. And to not have that has been a real gap, you know, not being able to do the home and away. And Saturdays now.
I mean, how have you been passing the time?
Well, I mean, we managed to get a holiday in. We managed to get to Croatia just before they did the lockdown. But with Sue working at a school, you know, it's very structured. You know, you've got your half terms, but we always used to try and go away when we could. And then, like I said, the weekends, home and away, and we would structure it. So we've been busy with the house and the garden and doing lots of walks and cycles. And luckily, we live in Bideford, so we can walk to the coast. We've got Westwood Hoe, and then we've got some beautiful coastline along the park. So we've done a lot of walks and got out a lot. The weather's not so good at the moment, but you dress up and you go on the Tarka Trail. Busy, really. But we're lucky. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are really struggling. So we count ourselves family and friends, and we can still see them and do what we can, really.
Absolutely, and just look forward to when we can go back to some kind of normality, I guess. I mean, have you been watching any of the games on iFollow or anything, or listening?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I mean, we tend to do the home ones more than the away. Radio Devon is really good, and we like that. So yeah, we've managed to do a few of the iFollow ones. It's been really good, actually. I've been really impressed with. Kind of think, oh, maybe it might be a bit amateurish, but to have the picture and the replays and everything is okay. Of course, it's nothing like the real thing, but as a second best, it's.
Did it make you miss it a bit more as well, seeing St James Park from the camera?
Yeah, it really does. Seeing those empty stadiums and seeing where, you know, we were walking and everything, it does. It makes it worse, actually, seeing SJP than, you know, the Globe Arena at Morecambe that we probably wouldn't have gone to on a Tuesday night. Well, we wouldn't have gone on a Tuesday night, but there it is.
I guess it's one plus the modern world that we live in with all this technology and the ability to watch these games. I mean, if we went back 4 or 5 years, you'd be relying on just radio commentary probably if we're in the same situation, wouldn't you?
Well, we would. I remember the excitement when some of our FA Cup games and the playoffs were on Sky. And, well, the Liverpool game, of course, on Friday night on the BBC. And it was a real big deal. It was really exciting just to see your team on the big screen. I remember the Man U game, the away game, the home game, the replay, when that was on telly, and that was so exciting to see it. That was 14 years ago, and now you take it for granted. You know, every game on the screen, so the excitement's not there. But thank goodness we've got all that, and we can actually see, you know, little Exeter on the screen. It's good, really.
What have you made of the starts of the season? You know, we're 11 games in, only beaten once, unbeaten in, I think it's 9 league games now. So, I mean, it's a pretty strong platform to build on, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, when Matt started the season, he lost a number of the experienced players. Kind of implied, well, it was a bit of a transition year. We were looking at maybe the academy players. Well, I reckon for 91 other clubs, they would have been worrying and hitting the panic button. But for us, I think as a club, you kind of think this is going to be great opportunity. Last year, and when we got to the semi-final of that, the FL Trophy, we pretty much played a second team. I'd say it was academy, a lot of the second players, and we did so well in that. So at the start, you thought, well, actually, this is going to be okay, and these players coming through, and we've seen just that, and it's been really good to see the likes of, you know, Joel Randall and Harry Kite and Josh Key and those people that really cemented their places. They're not kind of on the bench; they're there, and some of them made their debuts, and they're doing so well. So it's been good. I mean, maybe because of the situation, it's allowed them. We haven't bought the expensive players, but it's worked for us. And I tell you what, there's a lot of clubs out there that are really envying our academy at the moment. It's a multitude of riches, isn't it? Really.
You got to feel a little bit sorry for the likes of Joel, Josh, and Harry, and that, and they're, you know, scoring their first goals and making their debuts in front of empty crowds when they would have loved to have been doing it in front of their friends and family.
Yeah, you do. You really do. Kind of taking it for granted, these young lads making their 2 debuts, or, you know, another one and another one. This is a really big deal. And then when they're scoring, and yeah, you're right. I mean, I would have loved, remember my parents watching me when I was playing. It's such a buzz. So yeah, it's really unlucky for them not to have the crowd and the big bank there.
But when we can get back, that'll make it even more special, I suppose.
Yeah, it will. This is it.
I mean, FA Cup this weekend as well. Quite a special, prestigious competition, isn't it? And we go up against AFC Fylde, who we've actually never faced before. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, I love the FA Cup. I love it, and I remember going to places like Idcut and Nuneaton away trips, and we were at Nuneaton a few years ago, and I think we were 4-5-0 up at half time. All the Nuneaton fans were over the side giving it large, and then they kind of drifted away at half time, and they thought they were the big guys, and yet they were, I think it was 4-0 at half time. But we loved that. I remember going to Idcut, and Clinton Morrison scored actually on that time.
That one was on TV as well, I remember, wasn't it? I think it was on BT.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, it was actually, yeah, because I got my mate to record it, and we were, yeah, that's right. And it was brilliant because, I mean, they're a little club, and there we were stood right up against the boundary there, and, you know, it was just a lovely, and they were lovely actually. I think they trashed our team bus on the way on something. But I just miss those away trips. I always find that when you go to SJP, when it's a cup game, there's just a bit of a buzz about it. You know, even though you do the same routine and you walk in and everything, the FA Cup is always something different. And I mean, some of the even when we're not playing a glamorous team, we've played a few non-league teams, and then we had Port Vale a year or two ago. It was something a little bit magical. So it's desperate not to be able to get there and watch it. Like I said, it would be special. But AFC Fylde, they worry me a bit. I mean, they're flying in the Conference North. They haven't lost a game yet, have they? You've got Jim Bentley there, who's pretty experienced, and they're going to be well up for this. And of course, you know, we haven't got the big bank roaring our team on. It's a neutral stadium for them. Apart from their journey down from Lancashire, they're going to be well up for it. So we've got to be absolutely up. Really got
Absolutely.
to be.
I mean, do you think part of the excitement of the FA Cup games for fans as well was maybe that, you know that if you can get to that third round, that you're likely, all the big boys come in and, you know, you've got your likes of Liverpool, and I think that's part of why it feels a little more exciting.
Yeah, definitely. There, haven't we? We've seen those big third round games. I remember when we got to the second round. Was it last year? Hartlepool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were so close. Threw that one away. But yeah, it is a buzz. I know it's not getting to that next round, the second, and you think, gosh, this is so close. And this is why we love the FA Cup. So it's not going to be the same on Saturday. And of course, you know, we haven't got the replays, have we? Third round, and you don't get the money. And I hope that only lasts for a season, because potentially we could lose. A lot of the smaller teams are going to lose a lot of money. They don't get the benefit of replays. You know, we've done very well with replays over the years, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man U and stuff. That's been really important to us. So fingers crossed. No, I think Fylde, they're going to be a good team. It's going to be a real test for us.
Definitely. And just to end as well, we ask everyone, I'll have to ask you for your score prediction. So what are you thinking for Saturday?
You know what? I think it's going to go all the way. I think it's going to go to pens. And I think our Iceman is going to do the business. He's going to be the coolest man at SJP on Saturday. But no, I think it is going to go the way. I think it's going to be a bit of a nervy event. They've got nothing to lose. We've got everything to lose. So, yeah, I'm going to go for pens. And what's he called? Anderson, our Iceman, he's going to come up. Brilliant.
I think maybe it'd be an exciting game if that's the case, won't it? Definitely.
It will. It will. You get your value for money from my follow.
Well, hopefully you'll tune in and enjoy the game on Saturday. And it was nice to speak to you as ever. And hopefully you'll be back at the ground before we know it.
Let's hope so. Fingers crossed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us on Park Life for this afternoon's game. We really hope to see you back at the park one day soon. Until then, you can catch the game on iFollow for £10 this afternoon, and follow the game on social media, of course, as well. Look, it's tough, but stay home, stay safe, and up the city!